Hello, guys. As we well know, Saturday is Mai Ano's day off. But I could not resist. I could not resist. Today, I really should not check my Twitter when I'm on my day off. But today I was sitting and checking Zimbabwean Twitter, as you do. And oh my God, like the most amazing love story is coming out of Zimbabwe. Possibly the most amazing love story is coming out of Zimbabwe right now. I'll tell you what it is. So I was on Zimbabwean Twitter, as you do on a Saturday morning, doing nothing. You've actually got time, and because it's Mom's day off. Anyway, so I was on there and I was looking at. So I followed this woman called Fadzai, who you might have heard of. She's like a lawyer who's based in Zimbabwe. She's very educated. She has been a law lecturer. I think she probably still is. So yeah, and she's, what does it say here? Let me just have a look. Education, Sport and Culture Secretary, and she's a constitutional lawyer and a law lecturer. And this girl is good. I mean, she's on top of her game. She's doing her thing. She's independent, single woman, living in Zimbabwe, trying to make a difference. Heart is in the right place. And, great respect for her as an individual. So anyway, as I'm scrolling through the last week worth of tweets, I spotted that on the 23rd of April, some guy, some unknown guy, apparently he's like a neuroscientist or something, a neurologist in South Africa. Some guy had sent a message where he said, "Hey, Advocate Maheri, you're the most intelligent and beautiful woman I know. I just figured I'd shoot my shots. Stay amazing." Wow, okay. Well, so that's just like a tweet. Anyone can say whatever on Twitter. So, she responded to him. So that was April 23rd. What are we now? 25th? So she responded to him and she told him, hang on, let me have a look because I'm going to have to go through the tweets now. And she said to him, you need to get, there's so many tweets on this thing because this thing has actually gone viral, which is understandable. So yeah, so she said, if you want a dinner date, I'm going to, oh no, she said, if you want a date, get 100 retweets to your message. And she's just like, because anyone can say any old thing on Twitter, everyone on Twitter is a champion. So she was just probably just shutting this guy down, like, whatever. Get a date. Give me 100 retweets. So off my guy went and he got 100 retweets on Twitter. That's kind of hard to do if you're just a general nobody. I think his profile has, he's actually got a fair few followers. He's got 5,751 followers, but he still managed to get 100 retweets to get a date from her. So then he came back to her and she said, well, okay, you got 100 retweets. So as promised, here's your date, 24th of April, 2020. Now, if you want a dinner date, I'm going to challenge you to 2,000 retweets. So it was just like, what? Okay. Dinner date? Okay. Probably, again, just shutting him down because this girl is busy. She's doing her thing. She's involved in the community. She's, a lawyer who's very, very vocal. She has a presence in Zimbabwe and she's trying to do the right thing by her conscience and by her determination. She's forging ahead. She's a movement by herself, basically. This woman is like on top of her game. So she told the guy, go and get 2,000 retweets. So my guy's going off trying to get 2,000 retweets. She's going on, carrying on. At the moment, she had just started. So she's a chair on this fundraiser, which of course I also then found out today. She's a chair on this fundraiser, which is trying to raise money to get COVID testing ramped up in Zimbabwe. So she goes back, she's still doing her little project, and she probably just basically ignored him. And then what is it that happened? So he went off and he got all these retweets and he came back at her. And someone was saying, you really should have said 10,000 and he was still going to get them. So, we're going to drag you to this dinner date. This dinner date is on. This dinner date is definitely happening. And she's just like, oh, Sando Zako. And people are like, well, if you know what it means, you know what it means. So scrolling up, because there's loads of different things, because she's still going on and promoting her thing. She's, basically trying to ignore him. And then a couple of hours after he got the 2,000 retweets, she's like, no, I don't believe these doctored figures. Because I think at that point he was at about, 2,000 retweets. And then she said, I didn't say when the date was going to be. So tell you what, how about you get 5,000 retweets if you want us to have a date before December? Because, my girl is busy. She's doing her own thing. It's like, this is like, it's an aside. People on Twitter can say whatever they want to say. So who knows if this guy's serious or not? So she's like, yeah, yeah, whatever. Go off, sit down, stay in your lane, get me 5,000 retweets. And this is where the stuff really starts to get exciting because, it's like, well, okay. And then he went off and he got more retweets, and people were now talking, and people were saying, you've got to go on this date. Now that you've made everyone get involved in this thing, you can't just put us all down. So people were like, you know what? If this is an issue, we're going to make sure that this date happens. This date is definitely going down. 5,000 retweets. We're retweeting. Share with all your friends. This chick is like sending us this request to do these retweets very late in the day, but we're going to make this happen. So, she got the 5,000 retweets. And she's like, okay, I see you. Yeah, cool, no problem. So now you've made it to a fast food place with me in a tracksuit. So we've got retweets, whatever. What are retweets? This is just social media. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything in the real world. If you help in the fundraising campaign that I'm doing, and she posted the link because she was working on this quite diligently, and if it gets to $5,000, then you can choose the date and the venue. So now she's pushing the ball back into his court. You know what? I see that you're a guy who's obviously very focused and targeted and whatever. And people were like really sort of bigging this guy up because, he taught in Zimbabwe a fair bit. His students were like, oh my God, this guy's actually like such a softie. He never seemed like he was such a softie. He was so strict, but oh my God, he must be a real softie at heart. This is a guy who's willing to help. And people were now starting to come out with all these stories. Oh, when my grandmother was ill, he came and he helped her and he paid for my school fees. He didn't have to because, he doesn't know me like that, but this guy's really good. And people are coming out with all these different things about why this linen bronzer is so good. And then she's like, okay, you've got your 5,000 retweets. Maybe you are actually a really nice guy, but you know what? Are you the kind of man that I'm looking for? I'm single and I'm happy being single, because she's actually stated, you know what? I'm single and I'm at peace with it. So how about you help something for my project, the stuff that I'm working on? I'm passionate about this. This is the stuff that makes sense to me. You're less than 24 hours old in my life. I don't know this guy who's messaging her, but when you go back through his Twitter, because I did, because I love, and I love when guys are fighting for women that they really care about. And this guy's been like following her Twitter. There's like things where he's like retweeted her and stuff. And you're like, oh, this is so sweet. So it's probably, my guy's probably been watching and dying from a distance. Like, oh my God, I love this girl. She's amazing, because she is, you should definitely check out this chick's profile. She's just amazing. And she is just determined in everything that she does. The world needs more of her. So she's like, okay, if you can help me with my fundraiser that I'm working on right now, and if you can get it to $5,000, then you can choose the date and the venue. And I'm going to wear my best stilettos and a cute little dress. We'll even do a public photo shoot. Your move. Because I think at this point she's thinking, whatever, people can talk on Twitter, but, put your money where your mouth is, basically. Are you an action guy, or are you just a guy who just likes being on Twitter and you have a social media presence? Right. And then he went off. So this is now an hour later. He went and he raised. So I suppose, he raised 1,300, or he was part of raising 1,300. He helped people to donate, and he put some money in as well. And it says only 3,700 to go. If you're as good and as noble as you say you are, as they say you are, this shouldn't be too much for your cam. So it's kind of like, if you're this amazing guy who's helped all these people obviously want to help you too, right? So balls back in your court. And people are donating, and people are saying, guys, even if you don't have money, just put in $1 each. Let's get to 5,000. 5,000 people donating $1. We can get there. And then, something comes back in that same hour. A little blocker happens. So a message from this guy, Tawanda Nyambirai, who says, advocate for and on behalf of the legal profession, which is under siege from the medical profession. So now basically it's become the lawyers and, against the medical guys, because, he's a medical dude and she's a lawyer, which is under siege from the medical profession. We pledge to redeem you from this date by donating a ventilator to a facility of your choice. So now the medical team is against the legal team. So now everybody's getting excited about this potential, could it actually happen date. And the legal guys are like, you know what? No, this is not going to happen. We're going to donate a ventilator. This date is not going to happen. And my guy came back, and I think it was something like, you know what? You can take the ventilator, but we're still going to have this date. So now he's determined. He's now like in his field. He's like, okay, you know what? This is going to happen. And one of my other little favorite people commented, Miss Red, she's like, we are ready to go all the way. Advocate Mahiri, even with the curveball. So whatever you're throwing at us, even if you're trying to shift that goalpost, we are donating money. So Miss Red contributed some money within that hour. So, you know, my girl, I was sleeping. I was probably doing money stuff yesterday. If I'd have been awake, I would have been on this big time. So she, you know, she's like, okay. So he said, you know, please take the ventilator, but I'm not letting go of my date. We can have our cake and eat it too. This guy's like such a softie, he's such a romantic. I'm just like imagining her like him like looking at her in the face, like, okay, you know, is that all you got? The ventilator? Okay, cool. Let's rock. So she's like, okay, fair enough. So at this point, you know, she is actually starting to notice this dude. I'm just like, oh my God. I sat there and I read this thing like I was watching an amazing like thriller. Curveball, all of these things. I'm so sad. And then, you know, within that same time frame, someone was saying that so this is African pregnancy health, African mum, basically, African mum pregnancy health, then said, we're seeing the donations and we want to help the good doctor as well. So they have no vested interest, they're just like an external party. And they said for 10 women of your choice, because they know she's very passionate, she's actually very involved in the community. If you look at her profile and you look at the things that she's doing, this is a girl who's constantly learning every single day. You think her life is so full, being a lawyer with all those books. But no, my girl is like plugged into the community. She's listening to what people are saying. She's going and she's advocating for people here and there, giving people a voice. So she is involved in the community. So by virtue of default, she's going to know loads of people in the community. So, you know, AfriMom then says, you know what? We're seeing the donations and we want to help the good doctor. Now, for 10 women of your choice, we're going to offer free pregnancy ultrasound scans even during the lockdown period. But if you refuse to go on this date, we're going to take it to 50 women. Go, girl. We are on your side. So it's like, wow, okay, that's cool. Wow, that's brilliant. And then he went ahead and, you know, he donated his $100, bless his heart. So he's donated. And she's like, well, thank you, Dr. Gwanza. Zim Against COVID appreciates you. Because she was writing personalized thank yous to everyone who was contributing to the thing as they went along. And then the British ambassador to Zimbabwe, who's in Harare, then said, you're such a catch, Advocate Mahere. I think you should up the stakes. And I'm going to give you one more retweet to help. So she then, you know, put a little retweet, this date should go on. Which is like, thank you, Ambassador. Right? So then, you know, she's still promoting. And then like 2 hours later, she tweets, thank you so much, Team Lemon. There have been 50 heart scans and 5 mobile cardiology clinics, which is super generous of you. You're making it so hard to say no to that date to El Guanza now. So everybody is on this dude's side. Like, this has got to happen. I'm like, Dr. Mavaris. So this is in response to somebody who tweeted that she has a pledge from Team Lemon. A cardiologist who chose to remain anonymous, but is willing to enter into legally binding contract that she would do 50 free heart scans, offering her time and her resources to give heart scans. So these guys could just go on a date, which might or might not work. About 50 free heart scans and 5 mobile cardiology clinics. So she would travel to people, 5 different visits to destinations of Advocate Mahere's choice as soon as this cardiologist came back to Zimbabwe. Which is amazing. So someone is actually willing to give off their time just so these 2 people, who she doesn't really know anyway, so these 2 people can get together and go on a date. I mean, this is the power of, there's actually really good spirit in this world. Like, people have good vibes. Oh, and somebody then, you know, posted their few seconds of, oh yeah, Dr. Gwanza used to make my handshaking physiology with fear, guys. But here I am trying to make a date happen for him. Because this guy's actually like a seriously nice guy. You get the sense that he is. And people are now exercising because they're getting ready for the wedding. People are like, you know what, this wedding is going to happen. You might want this guy to raise you this money. It's all good. But you know what, even if it means we have to fundraise for him to pay for the lobola, this thing is going to happen because we are actually Team Lennon all the way to the honeymoon. Even the photographers all the way to the honeymoon. And then a donor, so you know Fresh in a Box, which delivers fresh produce to people's houses. They're good. I've used them. I'm not going to advocate anyone. I can't sponsor anyone. Anyway, they're really good. They're good. They get stuff to your loved ones in Zimbabwe. So someone donated 10 hampers of Fresh in a Box to 10 vulnerable households of Advocate Mahere's choice. So obviously this woman knows loads of different people, and in her movements and in her communications with people, she will have come across loads of different people. So someone said, you know what, we're just going to help you with this because they believe so much in the good doctor. They believe so much in Lenin. It was like, wow, oh my God. It's brilliant. And then she's like, oh, and then Pariah State Kitchen then said, keep fundraising for the Zim COVID activities, and your date with Gwanze is on us. All the food you can eat and all the drinks you can drink once we reopen. But in the meantime, we're going to give both of you a takeaway meal of your choice because they're also Team Lennon. I'm like, oh my God. And then she's like, well, thank you, fam. You're my favorite restaurant, but how come nobody is Team Fuzzy? So nobody's trying to say this date should not happen. Everyone wants this date to happen, and it should. And even, oh, okay, even like, I don't know who the other Mahere, because there's another Mahere chick who was commenting, and I don't know whether that's like her sister or whatever, but this chick actually seems to be on Team Lennon as well. And even Sogostina, the Queen Monkey, is like, you know, Advocate Fadze Mahere Gwanza, Team Lennon. Thank you. She's already like, you know, double barrel that name. Mahere Gwanza. Yeah, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Yeah, make it happen. Team Lennon. And then, oh, that's my baby. My baby's awake now. The Medical Imaging Center then also said, MIC Radiology Group would like to offer our support to our esteemed colleague, Dr. Gwanza. We pledge to provide a digital mobile X-ray unit to support the 3 medical outreach teams. A digital mobile X-ray unit. They are donating an intensive piece of kits, as well as up to 4 free CT brain scans for each outreach clinic. Just as Team Lennon. I mean, this is like the power of, he just put himself out there. That could have gone completely in the opposite direction. He could just have got shut down. But my guy is working hard. And it's not just him who's working hard. At this point, now other people are willing to pledge themselves to make this date happen. I think people just probably think, well, you know what? These two actually would have a chemistry if they allowed it to happen. And then someone else came up and said, if the doctor agrees to go on a date with a neurologist, if the doctor agrees with a neurologist, I will put in a rooftop solar system on any old people's home or orphanage of their choice on me. So someone has agreed to put a solar system that will power an entire old people's home or an entire orphanage. People who are not related to this couple at all are going to benefit from this date going on. This date has to happen. I'm sitting here in, you know, England, no, I'm in Scotland, going, this date has got to happen. So now things are like just becoming so intensely viral. I was just like, oh my God, why was I not online yesterday? And, you know, she's still promoting her shortage of COVID tests that, you know, are needed for people returning to Zimbabwe. She's still advocating all of that. And people are now, you know, donating to it. And she's posting as well. Now we've got 2,000 to go. And she's like, I promise to bring my A game, bring the fire. This girl gets dressed. I mean, you look at her and she's like, oh my God, so glamorous. And it goes on and goes on. And, you know, then this is now like 4 hours down. The guys managed to raise, where were they at this point? I think they were now at 3,000. So he managed to raise about $3,000 in 4 hours. And he said, if we get to $4,000 tonight, then I'm going to say yes to a glam date. I mean, what's a glam date? She looks glamorous already anyway. A glam date. But no pics. I don't want any pics. It has to be a private date. I'm blown away with the courage, the grand gestures, and going big or going home. And even I have learned a thing or two from this. So whatever happens, this guy has made an impact. And that is what I love. I'm sitting here just saying like, Team Lennon. He has made an impact. He has actually made her stop because her life is no doubt very busy and she's involved in so many different things and she's doing so much and she's so, you know, on top of her game. She, as I said before, is a movement by herself. But this guy actually just made her go like, whoa, okay. And take notice. And that is more powerful than anything. And, you know, then someone is like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, you know, is she single here? Before we start making donations in COVID, so she goes on this day. And she's like, yeah, I'm very single. She's very available. And then Outward Mukandi posted that Mash something something Green Energy had pledged to do a free solar installation at a house of their choice once the date is done. So if this date happens, they are going to do a free solar installation at a house that this couple, because in my world, I'm already, this is already a couple. I don't care what anybody says. They're already together in my head. It's happening. So after the date, they can choose a house that will get free solar installation. So see, all these things that are happening. Oh, and somebody pointed out, as I feel as well, the advocate Mahere has doctors in the health sector at heart, and Dr. Gwanza loves to save lives. What a perfect match! Let's support this fundraiser. I mean, come on, guys. And then, an hour later, so about 5 hours later, this guy had raised $4,000 for a project that is close to her heart. He believes in her, he's supporting her. And she said, I say yes to your date. It's your move now. Thank you for rallying your troops to support the Zim Against COVID-19 Trust. Please ask them to keep donating. I'm going to do a photo shoot if they get to 5,000. And I hope you're as amazing as they say you are. And somebody said, I'm going to buy $30 groceries straight afterwards. Yeah, and you can give it to a vulnerable elderly person in Glenview North the morning after your dinner. That's just, everyone is just like pitched in and just so invested in this dinner. And Mama's Kitchen actually even says, how about a socially distanced date? We're giving you free delivery to the two. So free delivery, is it to two, respective places, or is it to two in the same place together? Because that would mean that they're chilling in each other's houses, or, Anyway, for the meals of their choice at their respective homes, Okay, point taken. And people are donating. Oh my God. And then someone went, so this is the person who then, it's Sam, SD somebody. It was an anonymous donation, I thought it was. Anyway, so this is an entrepreneur who went and then donated $1,000 to make this date go on, right? Which then took them over the $5,000 mark, right? That's freaking amazing. So this date, number one, is gonna happen. I've spoken too much about it. I've spoken too long about it, but I'm very, very excited about this date going on. So if you're excited about it, I want you to go and follow at Advocate Mahere on Twitter and at El Gwanza on Twitter. This date has got to happen. This date is gonna happen. This day took me out of my mummy's day off because I'm supposed to be chilling in bed right now, just sipping on tea and eventually waiting for my getting lean at lunchtime drink. But this date has got to happen. So I needed to share my little 2 cents. Go and share this thing that she is promoting, Zim Against COVID-19. Go and donate to it so that the date definitely happens. She's going to still throw a curveball into this whole thing. So if she throws a curveball, let us be ready. Let us support the things that she is doing, because this is just like, it's a match made in heaven. This couple has got to happen. Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a good Saturday. I should not even be online because it's my day off. I'm supposed to be chilling and ignoring the world and meditating and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, have a brilliant weekend, and I will see you on Monday. We're back on Monday. We've got some very exciting stuff, which is back into the relationship loop. I will put it on the discussion panel on my channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, stay tuned in for further updates. Love you guys. Bye. Team Lennon.